of 2023. My name is David Solomon. I'm in beautiful sunny Montreal, Canada. Stuart is in hot, ridiculously sunny, brutally, unbelievably uncomfortable Florida. And we're here. We're the members of the Rant Network. And in case this is your first time here, we do love podcasting about unfiltered and uncensored conversations on a wide range of topics, dedicated to giving you a platform to express your opinions, not just us. Share your thoughts, experiences, ideas, and hear from a variety of perspectives and brutally, clearly honest opinion. Just as we dive in today into the latest news, pop culture, politics, so much more. We deal with the absurdity of modern life. Check out our previous podcast. You'll hear it. The discussions about the deeper issues affecting society today. We got you covered. Sit back, relax, enjoy. Dive into this journey of discovery and exploration. It's time for the Rant Network. Ladies and gentlemen, I had to wake up this morning. I had to calm myself a little bit. I had to take time to think and reflect that bipartisanship can exist. Yes, right? It can exist. But the crazy thing is, let's call them extremists in a party getting together and get after what's going on. But in this case, Stuart, Matt Gaetz, the Republicans, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from the Democrats, and policy. Stuart, take it away.
Okay, well, I didn't think in this news cycle the word bipartisan. Yes, did you hear me correctly? Mm-hmm. Bipartisan on an issue that, David, you and I have spoken about several times. It really has to do with the way the government, makers, have been doing what we call, which would be called if we did it, insider trading, but permissible by a law from 2012, where we know our famed Nancy Pelosi and her husband have made tens of millions of dollars on doing this, right? There are stock traders that actually emulate what her and her husband buy and sell just because it's a sure thing. I mean, she's got better odds than lightning striking. That's for damn sure. But when you take two people, AOC, my favorite person I don't like, and Gaetz, another person who, these are two extremists in two different parties, come together on one issue. I never in a million years would see the day that this would happen, other than it would be a global attack and everyone votes yes to bomb them back. Other than that, I never in a million years would hear AOC and Gaetz call for the same trading reform. I don't know, maybe AOC's made enough money now. She's got her rolling 401k, her life insurance policy. She's got everything paid for. So now it's just on a roll for her. She's an autopilot. Her $5 to $7 million net worth over the next 10, 15 years, she'll be worth $20, $30 million by retirement. She's got nothing to worry about. Maybe now that's why AOC is coming forward with such a really sensible bill. It's restoring faith in the government when you have a Republican left and a Democrat left and a Republican right come together. If this is signed into law, it would require within 90 days that all members of Congress liquidate their portfolios or put it in a blind trust. Now, there's guys on CNBC that you may recall makes very big noise, a guy named Kramer. Kramer is an incredibly brilliant guy who everyone accused of doing stock tipping, but believe it or not, all of his assets are literally in a blind trust. To me, when the President of the United States turns over his wallet and his accounts, it all goes into a blind trust. This is the way it should have been, the way it should always be, and it shouldn't be profiteering in the most literally corrupt city in the country, Washington, D.C. And to be honest with you, David, I never, ever, ever, ever thought that I would see this. Now, I assure you, Nancy Pelosi will never, in my mind, ever come to terms with this because you know what? She's too fucking greedy still. She's not going to get off the liquid I know inside information. Remember, only rules for me and you are allowed to do this, right? Because we're going to get incarcerated for insider trading. So, David, in a news cycle, and I'm tearing this one up, and I got to thank Forbes for citing this news source. I'd like to see it hit CNN or Fox later on today. But you know what, David? I am just in utter shock and awe.
Stuart, Matt Gaetz was actually interviewed last night with Jesse Waters. I believe it was Jesse Waters or on I can't remember who it was. I got to tell you, it was cool to see that these guys that he's on, and he's talking about bipartisanship. That said, I never took my problem is there's something there. You said it yourself. I'm not sure what it is. Why is AOC suddenly doing this? Okay. Listen, and all due respect to Forbes, here's the thing. AOC is a progressive. Matt Gaetz is a far-right politician. Excuse me. AOC is a goddamn socialist, and frankly, I can't trust her. And so anytime she does something, I get worried. Matt Gaetz also, there's something there for him. So I'm happy to hear that they want to listen to podcasts. I'm happy there's a whole bunch of things. But I don't have faith in your government. Whenever something like this happens, there's smoke and mirrors. There's something I don't know that's going on. You have any ideas? Like what could possibly be going on? And suddenly, two relatively radical politicians want to do this.
David, you have a president who has cognitive issues, Democrats who only call typically bipartisan, and if you agree with me, which again is the shock and awe, AOC Gaetz, every other issue, unless you agree with me, you're an enemy. Like, again, let's talk about a budget. Biden is now going to meet with the Republicans. And you want to know something? The statement's going to be one and the same.
So what is this?
You know what that is? You know what that is? It's going to be agree with me or we're not doing it. And Biden thinks I'm the president of the United States, whatever I say goes. That's not the way it works, David. And you know what? The Republicans are also deeply at fault at the very, very root. They need to either coalesce, come together, or vehemently work towards getting something done. Because you know what? They're big blowhards with zero follow through. From arresting Clinton, where they never did, then they never should have said they were going to do. The same like the Democrats.
I don't get it. Where are you going with this again?
Well, I'm just going with you're bringing up the nonsensicality of bipartisan and what's the status of our government. It's two polar opposites. It's a left and a right, and they're not going together. And now you got AOC and Gaetz.
This bill has been presented several times. Why now? What's going on now? I have no clue. I'm looking right now, and I'm seeing it in a variety of places. This has been presented a few times. AOC doesn't do anything if she can't benefit or profit from it.
I agree. Or she already has profited from it. Remember, the only appeal she has to a base is only so far. She's not getting her green deals. They're falling away by the wayside. They're being disproven and will be all repealed once the government changes, and she knows it. And the only way she's going to stay in power is by finding some sort of neutrality, pulling one right out of Clinton's handbook. Because remember, she's going to have to be reelected still. You know, her term is only so long. And you know what? She's already made the money. She's already figured out the game. She knows mathematically how much money compounding interest by putting this into a trust she'll have to live off of. She's already said. And she's going to prevent anyone else from doing so, which is okay. I'm okay with that. You know what? That's the first time a Democrat had a drain the swamp type deal. Again, I really have no love for this woman. She's a communist. I agree. She is Bernie Sanders on steroids. She's a moron.
Yeah, but I don't get where she's going with it, because AOC is one of the most manipulative politicians out there. She's good. She's really good. She gets the game. She knows how to play the media. She knows how to offend without getting caught. But when she opens her mouth, there's a reason. And Matt Gaetz, tried to not exactly kosher either. I can't trust AOC. Nothing she does doesn't go with something.
David, when you say I can't trust AOC, I don't think that's a positive statement. I'm going to sound very neutral here.
No way.
I trust but verify. I trust but verify.
No, I don't trust her. I don't trust her. She lies through and the media is just a media darling, and they love her to pieces. They will never. They don't take anything against her. They don't. They love her. She's wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
She goes after people. She can lie. Apparently, you know this word. In a congressional hearing, you can say whatever you want. You don't have to be fact checked. It doesn't have to be accurate. No, you can contempt. So that's what she does. She's good. So my question is, what exactly is AOC getting out of all this? It's for her and Matt Gaetz to get together, which is not. They are getting together. They're not exactly a cooperative bill. What the hell is she getting out of it?
Your guess is as good as mine, David. I am done trying to figure it out.
I love the idea and I agree with you.
Yeah.
We need more than ever. The politicians cannot financially benefit from any of these stock tips and from what have you. They're making money hand over fist. You and I can't do that. We're not allowed, like you said, it's called insider trading. Nancy Pelosi and her husband made $1 gazillion. Others have made gazillions of dollars. These politicians are going there to profit. They're not going there to serve you and me. Love the idea. Too bad it's taken this long to get here. And oddly enough, I mean, it has to be, both the Republic. It has to be a Republican Congress to pass this bill, which is kind of interesting because the Democrats like to accuse the Republicans of playing games. But I didn't see the Democrats when they had the House and the Senate in the last term. Did they bring this bill to the table? Did they want to make it to pass? And if they did, how come it didn't pass? Because if you have a majority, this is an easy peasy thing. Unless you're Nancy Pelosi, who says, I don't want this. Right? Nancy Pelosi can't benefit. And she was the House Speaker. I don't know, Stu.
Again, David, I'm just like sitting here going, I got nothing more to say on this, David.
I'll give you one last piece of thought with this, okay? And that is, it's refreshing to see bipartisanship. There's no doubt. But one thing people have no faith in their politicians, and so I'm telling you, when I hear a Matt Gaetz, an AOC, and the other congressmen saying this, you're right. Maybe they've made their money, but there's a shell game. And I'm just curious what that's going to look like. Anyways, Stuart, last word to you.
I'm speechless.
Oh my God! So they know what? Let me wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. That will be it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening in and tuning in to the Rant Network. We hope you enjoyed this conversation, gained some valuable insights. We appreciate your support and hope you'll join us again on Friday for more thought-provoking conversations, because we are here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern. Unedited, unfiltered, uncensored. In the meantime, don't forget to follow us on social media. Share your thoughts with us. Remember, we're always interested in hearing from you, our viewers and listeners, where you learn more about the topics that matter most to you. Thanks again for listening. And until next time, please keep on ranting.